1970, we sure we did live for fruit. Knowledge for selfish, for sure we did do the work. Auditorium to basement of all faculty of law. We did represent, stand tall anywhere we go. We work hard and we shine, commitment, dedication. Neurosurgery, comedy, music, Nollywood. SOTK, Dr. Call, MC Casino. We did represent, stand tall anywhere we go. Great UNIBEN, great UNIBEN, great UNIBEN, great UNIBEN. Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of the UNIBEN Alumni Series. As you know, this is a show where we promote alumni of the great University of Benin, men and women that are shaping the different industries, men and women that have been forged from the great University of Benin. And on today's edition, we have a lawyer with us today. She holds a Bachelor of Law degree, LLB from our Faculty of Law, University of Benin. She's Rosemond Phil-Othihiwa. I hope I got that correctly.
You did well. For a first attempt, yes, you did well.
Okay. Okay. So what will you score me?
I would give you an 8.59 over 10.
Okay. That's fair. She is a corporate and a corporate commercial startup lawyer. I've anticipated this interview because I know it's going to be quite interesting. And thank you so much, Rosemond, for joining us today. Good to have you.
So fantastic being here. I celebrate you and the amazing work you're doing, showcasing great people from the great University of Benin. So yes, very, very happy to do this.
Thank you. Let's start from the very foundation. You got into the institution to study law. What motivated that? What made you think this is what you want to do? I want to become a lawyer. Was there someone around you? Was there something you looked up to? Or there's some attributes you saw maybe in your secondary school and said, I think I'm cut out to do this, to be a lawyer?
Okay, so that's a very, very interesting question. So to be very honest, law was really never a do or die affair for me. But I just realized that I had a natural passion for it. My mom is a lawyer. So maybe that's subconsciously, right? But it was never a thing of, being forced. I was very, very articulate as a young child. I knew how to hold audiences. I knew how to speak. And so, I guess that was the natural thing for us to say, look, you could do any other thing, but you get more opportunities by actually practicing this profession, right? So I recall when I was trying to write my exams and everything, and then when they're registering for your courses, when you're doing your first choice, second, and all that. Yeah. So law was my first choice. I think economics was my second choice, and then international studies and diplomacy was my third. And I recall the state of my mind at that point was that even if I don't get law, I wasn't going to be bad. I wasn't going to feel bad. So, but time and chance had it, and I scored pretty well in my post-UME, and I got admission and all that. So yeah, here I am today. So yes, I would say my mom was a good influence, but it was never a thing of you must do what I did. It was just natural that that was a field that I would excel at, and yeah, here I am.
Okay, and a follow-up question: why UNIBEN? There are other institutions you have gone to, or the mom also go to UNIBEN?
UNIBEN is a very great school. Yes, my mom went to UNIBEN.
Okay.
UNIBEN is an amazing school, and I feel like it's one of the schools that basically you had a lot of great people, just come out from, and you could see their stories and some of the work that they did. It was federal, and I just what. I submit to whatever advice you give, and that was just it, really. So there was not something specific, but I knew that there were a lot of people that I could really look up to as when I was younger that, came out from the University of Benin. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, this would be a great school. And of course, it was outside Lagos, so it was good to go explore a little bit and be
Okay.
closer to my roots in a way, the manner of speaking.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about your time in UNIBEN. What was your routine like? Uh,
Woo!
for for some, it was classroom, their residence, then maybe their religious, their
Yes.
place of worship or something. How was it like for you?
Oh,
Or were
wow.
you able to
Very.
merge the different worlds, the social world and academic and everything? You had it all.
Yeah, so I started very, very social, and I still was all through. But in 100 level, I was very, 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 I knew how to, walk my way around the faculty. I mean, I had a very good life. It wasn't triangular, but at some point it became triangular because I had to like focus on my
Yeah.
academics, but I did a lot of social activities. I went for events. I was very, very, very functional in my campus fellowship also at the time. I think it was RCF. So I got a lot of leadership positions there. I was also active in the faculty fellowship as well, class fund. I think I was secretary general at a point, and then in the main campus fellowship, I was the assistant music director, and at the point, I became the music director because I did do music as well. I do play the instrument, so I kind of like led the choir at a point. So there was that, and then there were many activities like when you have the whole weeks, right? So did a lot of activities with my roommates and all that. So yes, I wouldn't say I explored per se. If I rate myself
Yeah.
in terms of how I was very extracurricular, I
Yeah.
would give myself a barely 70%. I was at 65, 70%,
Okay.
right? But I mean, I went out, I traveled sometimes to other states, and all that. But yes, I did have fun. I wouldn't say I had a like triangular life, but at some point it had to be that because I had to focus on my focus and graduate well.
Mm. That's good to hear. Let's talk about the attributes you took from the institution, the things you learned. You just mentioned that, you participated all week with your roommates, you had activities. Um, your school, you were quite ready for what the faculty had to offer, the academic wise, and
Yes.
all. So, outside your certification, outside your Bachelor of Law degree, what are the attributes you took from the institution that are handy today that you look back to and said, "Oh, I learned this skill from UNIBEN, soft skill," or yeah.
I think what I learned was the art of actually formally building, recognizing, and valuing relationships. A lot of people that I went to school with till today, I am very good friends with a lot of them.
Mm,
I built very healthy relationships. In fact, I built a very healthy relationship with my lecturer.
mm,
He's on my speed dial, even till today, almost about 12 years after leaving the school.
yeah.
One of the things that Uniben really, really showed me was that everyone's path in life is really different, and you must learn how to appreciate the uniqueness of others. Everyone cannot be like you. Everyone cannot have the same skills, the same opportunities. So while you are living your life and doing the best you can with the work and the resources you have, you learn diligence. You learn how to communicate. You learn how to build and foster good relationships. And you also learn the art of actually thinking on your feet and being proactive whenever you have solutions or problems that are coming your way. Because literally that's the mindset that we were taught while we were on campus, right? I stayed in the campus all through my 5 years. So I had to understand university life, understand that there are people that are just different and
Mm.
there's really nothing you can do about it. So you need to learn the art of being relatable and being friendly without being condescending, proud, rude, or derogatory, right? So that relationship building has really helped me, even right now in my professional career, even where I am at the moment. So yes, those are some of the things that UNIBEN did teach me.
Yeah, okay. I want to ask, for when you went for your law school, how did UNIBEN prepare you for law school? Because I've had guests who are lawyers as well, and they talked about how they were well drilled in UNIBEN. It was quite easy to just to move into law school and adapt to the rigorous curriculum and all that at law school. For you particularly, the
Mm.
training at the Faculty of Law UNIBEN, how did it prepare you for law school?
In fact, So the funniest thing is that while everybody was going to Abuja, Kano, Enugu, I was flunked to Adamawa State for
Mm.
my law school, right? And it was very shocking to me because I'm like, why me, right? At the time. But it turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life. In fact, because the campus, I think we're the second set, if I'm correct, the second set to get into that particular campus at the time. I had very few colleagues also that were also shipped. I'll use the word shipped to Adamawa State for law school. But one of the things that University of Benin prepared me for was just the art of learning. We had very good sound lecturers, really, really good lecturers that, really inspired and encouraged us to really to practice. So when I was in 100 level, 200 level, I was very, very active in the moot and mock trial competitions. And so when we had to do something similar in law school, I had enough preparation to actually also do that and do very well when also I was in law school as well. And then the style of teaching in the University of Benin was very interactive. We had very interesting lecturers who were always able to storytell and lots of coursework as well. So it literally was just the great foundation because law school is very intense. Nobody prepares you for it. There's a lot of things you have to digest over a very short period. And so although you may not compare law school to the university system, because law school is really advanced, but the University of Benin was a very good foundation for me. So it was not really shocking to adjust and adapt when the necessary time came.
Okay. You are today a corporate commercial lawyer and startup as well. Why did you choose that field? Why not litigation? Why not other aspect of law? What is mommy a corporate lawyer?
Oh my God. Actually, so for the first time, she's not, right? Yes.
Okay, this is your own path.
Yeah, this is my path. And I did write a book about it. In fact, I have a book called Made for More, Unlocking Clarity, Conviction, and Confidence in Your Career. And I really talk about the journey to now finding myself in the tech space. Because yes, I'm a commercial lawyer. I work with technology companies. And one of my current roles right now is a mentor with Google, where I kind of like advise startup companies that are trying to raise funds. So what led me to this path? Now, when I got out of law school, the very first thing I told myself was that I really wanted to learn under someone. And so for the first 4 years of my career, I actually worked in a law firm. I worked in the law firm that's called Chanel Legal Practitioners now, but at the time it was Olatunde Adejuigbe and Co. I worked with an SAN and I worked with him for 4 years. I did all sorts. It was purely commercial litigation. In fact, I did some criminal cases. We went to court. We did a lot of asset recovery matters, in corporate insolvency matters with AMCON at the time. So I had enough experience to know that litigation was not my path, right? So, I mean, it was a great experience. I was able to cut my teeth, in all those things. But I would say I got underwhelmed with the Nigerian judicial system. And at that same transition point in 2020 during COVID, I got an offer to become a co-founder for a legal technology company. So in that realm, I now learned the art of building a business. And because I already had a law degree and I understood regulation and I understood how to interpret it, I was able to bridge the gap between the business owner and the regulator. I found myself in that middle. And then that made me understand that, giving advisory to the business owners as well as providing support to government and regulators was a niche that I could find myself actually doing quite well in. And that's where I decided to sink my teeth into. So right now, I work with companies, I work with startups, scale-ups, and I run a consulting technology firm where we primarily advise companies that are raising capital and are trying to get foreign direct investment and are launching technology products globally. So I found myself in that space as a result of some of the experience I had, knowing what I wanted and also knowing what I did not want, right? Because it was a combination of both. Yes.
Yeah. Talking about the experience, you just mentioned that you were underwhelmed with the Nigerian legal system.
Yes.
Yes, that actually made you think, oh, litigation is not your thing, or part of it made you. Yeah. What were those issues that you saw and you felt this is going to be a long ride if you're here?
I would mention one, which was the biggest turning point for me. I realized that the time at which cases got resolved was needlessly long. Now, I understand judicial procedure, the rules of court that demand certain timelines for certain things. But for me, I prioritize results over just enjoying the process of coming and, doing lots of things, filing papers. The court doesn't sit today, we are joining tomorrow, and the issues are not resolved. Whereas that same problem, my counsel could sit on the table and negotiate and say, okay, this is the challenges. We could do some certain level of alternative dispute resolution and still come up with the same results, and both parties live happy. Time is not wasted. The issue is resolved, right? I understand that not all matters can be resolved that way, but I preferred the ability to enjoy negotiation as opposed to just waiting for a system to catch up with the dispute in itself. That was the biggest thing for me, biggest frustration, that clients could be in matters for as long as 7 years, as long as 5 years, right? And their matters are still not resolved. So what's the point, right? What are you practicing? What are you actually doing? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I decided to go for a faster approach.
As an insider, someone with legal knowledge and these processes, what do you think is the reason why this lengthy and quite unnecessary, especially for us that are not legal practitioners, when we see it, how can you be judging a case for so long? So what do you think are the reasons?
There are lots of things. There's a lot of things. I would mention the top 3. The number one thing is there are lots of matters in the court system. Sometimes the personnel or the judges are not even enough for some of the matters that come before them. So there are a lot of cases in the court, and because it's not AI or tech that is being judged, the judge will have to come to the court. The judge will have to sometimes write in longhand till today to note, take record of cases. Hopefully that changes anytime soon. Number 2 is that sometimes you even have we lawyers intentionally frustrating the system, right? And not doing things when we are supposed to. For example, I'll just give one typical example, because I know I may be speaking to a non-law audience. The rules of court say that you should prepare your processes and file within a specified time period. If you don't, you have to regularize. So on a day when your matter is supposed to come up for trial and you come to court and your process are not regularized, you have to regularize it first before you come back. And you cannot do it everything at the same time. So there are rules of court. There are days when your matter is slated for something. On some cases,
are there no punishments for such?
Of course there is, but the punishment will be given and then it will still happen. Do you understand? The punishment doesn't change the fact that it has happened and time has passed. So these are some of the things. The last one I would also say is sometimes even due to the complexity of the matter, and sometimes beyond just even filing processes, you have to go through trial. You have to prepare your clients or your parties, the parties for trial. Trial can take as long as a month to almost 6 months, right? And because there are so many cases in the dockets, you cannot attend to one case the entire day. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot, right? So these are some of the issues. And then, of course, the fact that our court processes in itself is not systematically designed with speed in mind. That is why some innovations, such as the small claims court, was brought along, right, by a couple of chief justices, where they will tell you for this specific amount being owed, this court should deal with it. And they give them a timeline. Within 6 months, you must treat that case from the beginning to the end. So innovations have come up, but there's only so much you can still do, right? So the challenges are still there, but it's up to the judiciary to decide that, look, we need to come up with newer innovations to ensure that matters don't take as long as they currently do. And until then, we'll keep, still experiencing these challenges.
Okay, let's talk about startups. We're going to tap from your knowledge for free.
I'll send my bill after, but it's
okay. Please, what are the common mistakes that startups make? And like I said, we're going to tap from your knowledge. How can we avoid them if maybe some of us want to go into startups and all? What are those common mistakes you have seen over the years with your experience that startups do make?
There's quite a lot, but I would just give about 3. Number 1 is not beginning with the end in mind. So the very first thing to ask yourself, what problem am I trying to solve? The solution that I'm creating to solve this problem, is this the best way to solve this problem? Do the people that I'm solving the problem for appreciate that this is the best way to solve the problem? So, for example, it is not every challenge that you need an app for. you need a tech app for. You need to build an application or a software for. Let me ask you something. On your phone, I'm pretty sure there are apps that you've not touched in how many years? And the only thing that is waiting for you is to throw those apps or delete them to create space, right? So I would say that one of the challenges that a lot of founders face when they are trying to build and launch products is that they are so consumed with the idea that they do not subject that process to rigorous market evaluation. They don't go into the market and make sure they are talking to as many people and they are able to get current market feedback as to whether that solution that they are trying to build actually is what the solution is supposed to do for them or supposed to be for them. That's number one. Number two, starting on the wrong footing and with the wrong structure. A lot of people wait until, pardon me, use the word, stuff hit the fan before they start thinking about structuring, contracting, negotiating properly. There's a data point research that basically says that most of companies shut down, apart from just inability to recognize the market need, also due to co-founder conflicts. Sometimes people start businesses without formalizing the right structure of business documents. They don't sign the right co-founder agreement. They don't have a structure that is built that can carry the weight of what they are trying to build. They have the wrong advisors on their team or the wrong staff on their team. They're employed wrongly. And so the company is not moving in the direction that it can possibly go. And then this startup shuts down over a period. Some is also fraudulent activities, lack of corporate governance. Some of them get funding for some reason and then they are buying a G-Wagon somewhere, or not doing what the money was given to the business to do. So there are many factors that lead to this. And the market is not just in the right timing for what you are trying to do. And your ability to understand your market and appreciate what the market is trying to communicate to you can also kill your business. Because if there's no market, there's no customers. And customers are the lifeline of a company or a startup, not your investors. Another last mistake I would say is that people pursue funding as opposed to pursuing sustainability. An investor's money is not profit. An investor's money is not revenue. An investor's money is not bond way or runway cash. You can use it to build your business, but that should not be the lifeblood of your business. Your customers are the lifeblood of your business. So these are some of the mistakes that I see a lot of founders make, and they solve this. They are well on their way to being successful in the near future.
Okay, thank you for that. Hopefully the build of it
I'll send it in USD.
Lastly, let's talk about your book, Made for More.
Yes.
I've not read the book. For some of us that have not read the book, why do you think we should read the book? What do you think we'll find in that book that will captivate our mind, that will make us want to read more pages of the book?
Okay, it starts from a very personal quote that I found very true over the course of my life, and it's this: we are all journeys in motion. We are all bestsellers being written, and we all have to give ourselves the permission to evolve. I'm pretty sure 10 years ago, what you're doing now was not what you're doing then. It means that in the course of your career, there are evolution and there are cycles and there are seasons. There's a season when you know I have exhausted a certain level of light I have and I have to press for more things. I have to get this degree. I have to get this achievement. I have to get this certification. I have to enter into new spaces, new networks. The reason why people should read this book is simply because it gives you practical ways by which you can actually come into a place where you have the relevant level or required level of confidence, clarity, and conviction to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. The topic is called, the title is called Made for More, right? And in that book, I talk about my experiences as to coming from a neophyte in the legal profession to where I found myself now with about more than 10 years of experience, navigating challenges that has to do with growth, promotion, being able to know exactly what and where you should specialize as a lawyer, not even just as a lawyer, as a professional, because the book is not only for lawyers. I talk about networking. I talk about what networking is not. I talk about how to successfully become a valuable person to the people you are doing life with, your colleagues, your peers, your mentors, those who look up to you as well, those who you are looking up to. I talk about mentorship, how to recognize the right kind of mentors in your space, and how to become a good mentor as well. I talk about failure and how our experience of failure kind of like dampen our expectations and how to actually navigate failure. I also talk about things that has to do with proactively planning for your future. So it's a personal development hack book, and I think that everyone listening should actually go get a copy, right?
Okay.
And yes, I think they should have it.
Okay, how can we get a copy? Yes.
Okay. So it's available delivery worldwide, but you can go to bit.ly/made for more book. Once you get to that link, You can download it. Once you make the payment, I think it's going for 10,000, but 5,000 additionally for delivery, depending on where you are, right? So altogether 15. And then once you get the book, you, of course, a personal autographed copy will be sent to you wherever you are.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Rosemond. It has been wonderful speaking with you within this short period. Thank you. Thank you for joining our program.
Thank you. Very excited being here, and super well done on the amazing work you do.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been speaking to Rosemond Phil-Othihiwa. She's a corporate commercial and startup lawyer. She was a Bachelor of Law degree from the Faculty of Law, University of Benin. Continue to subscribe to our channel. We'll be more exclusive interviews of UNIBEN alumni. Bye.
1970, we sure we did the forefront. Knowledge for service, for sure we did the work. Auditorium to basement of all faculty of law.